Today it's a casual get ready with me. Whoops. Today it's a fun, casual, chatty get ready with me, and I'm putting together a fresh summer look for us over 50 gals with mature skin. That's coming up next. Welcome back, I'm Kimberly. This is Pretty Over 50, where we talk everything makeup, skincare, and style for the over 50 woman. Today I'm putting together this fresh summer look using some drugstore products that I've purchased recently. A few of them I've tried once or twice. Some of them are brand new to me, so this should be a fun get ready with me. Everything is affordable, and I think the look really works for us more mature gals. If you're new here, a very special welcome to you. I hope you'll consider subscribing and make sure you click that notification bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. And if you're interested in more makeup, skincare, and style for the over 50 woman, stop by prettyover50.com. There's a lot more great information just waiting for you there. Well, before we get into the makeup, I want to say a big thank you to all of you. In one of my recent videos, I mentioned that I'm going to be adding more fashion to my channel and asked you what brands or what stores you guys were really interested in, and you really came through. I have such a fabulous list. On that list, and this is not comprehensive, this is just going off the top of my head, I have Nordstrom's, Amazon, Target, Walmart, J. Jill was big on the list, Chico's was big on the list, Old Navy as well. Gosh, there's a few more, and maybe they will bubble up. But I want to thank you for that. I put every mention on my list, and I'll be working through those. And I'm actually starting on it today. The shirt I'm wearing and the earrings, are those just so stinking cute or what? Is from Chico's, and I'm really loving this particular shirt and earring combination. I thought it was a darling shirt, perfect for the summer months, and can even take you a little ways into fall with a sweet little cardigan sweater. So I'm really loving this. So thank you for those of you who suggested Chico's. I'm so happy to be able to show you these finds from Chico. As always, all the products mentioned today, including this shirt and the earrings, will be listed and linked below, and they'll also be over on the blog, so super easy for you to check them out. And with that, let's hop into it. I'm in my tea phase at the moment. It's something I do from time to time. I'll be going along just loving my coffee, like so excited to wake up in the morning just to have my coffee, and then boom, I am in a tea mood. So now I'm drinking all tea. I'm not even drinking coffee. I don't know why that happens, but this is a new tea that I found. It's called Nebulyft. It's a black tea, and oh my gosh. I ended up buying like 6 boxes off of Amazon. It's so good. I'll list it down below if you want to try it out. It's just the perfect morning tea. I'm going to start out with the e.l.f. Mineral Primer. I love this primer. I used to use this almost exclusively. It's a beautiful finish on the skin. It really seems to minimize my pores and smooth things out. I just love it. It's one of my favorites. And again, it's e.l.f., so it's so very affordable. I better get my hair out of the way here. There we go. That's better. So I'll just smooth that over my skin. I just love the way this feels on my skin. It's so silky smooth. For eyeshadow primer, I'm trying the Lorac primer. I got this, I think, from Ulta in a little gift when you place an order there. I haven't used it yet. It's just a little sample size. So we'll see how it does today. I'm kind of wondering if this is like the Anastasia Beverly Hills primer, which is a great primer. It's just too heavy for my lids. So I just have a little bit on my 2 fingers and tap that over the lid. The ABH primer is a great primer, but what I have found is that because the formula itself is so thick and heavy, it just makes my eyeshadow look that much heavier on my crepey lids, which doesn't do me any favors because I'm older. If you're younger, I think it's probably a beautiful primer. This one doesn't look like it's so heavy. It's actually soaking in and not feeling too stiff, so I'm optimistic. When I come in to do my brows in the morning, my brows oftentimes are filled with all kinds of lotions and serums and that sort of thing from me doing my skincare. So I like to dust them down with my Airspun primer, and then I'll just comb that through the brows, and it gives it a little less of a greasy foundation for my brow liner. I'm using the Wet n Wild in Ash Brown. This is their retractable brow pencil. I love this pencil. I always start at the base of my brows, just to give me a nice defined line down there. One of the things I love about this pencil is that it really just does such a quick job. Because it has that fat end and then the skinny end, it makes real quick work of doing my brows. I'm putting a little City Lips on my lips to just hydrate my lips and plump them up a little bit while I'm doing my makeup. One thing that I have noticed during my skincare journey is that the vertical lines in my lips really seem like they've diminished. In other words, I still have them, but they're a lot fewer. And I'm not sure what's doing it. I'm not sure if it's just the skincare that ends up soaking into my lips because I get it all over my face, if it's the derma rolling, if it's, the city lips. I'm not really clear on it. If you go back and look at my 12 months results video at the difference in my lips, and you can just look at that first picture on the thumbnail, there's a lot fewer lines in my lips 12 months down the road. My lips are a little bit fuller, a tiny amount, not a whole bunch, but I think there's a real big difference in the amount of vertical lines in my lips, which I find really interesting. I can't really pinpoint for you what I think did it. If I do come across something that I think is kind of definitively it, I'll let you know. I'm going to be using one of these little e.l.f. $3 palettes today. This is in the color Rosewater. I just thought it would be a pretty look with the blouse I have on today. I'm going to pair it with my Clay Play palette from Tarte. I love this thing. I use it all the time. It's like my workhorse eyeshadow and bronzer palette. Because this is missing a few things that I think I'm going to need in the look, I'm going to get it out of here. So we'll be using these two palettes today, but mostly the color story is going to be coming from the Rosewater palette from e.l.f. I'm going to take a big fluffy brush, tap it into this lightest highlighter color here, and that's going to go all over both lids. I'm doing this first because I just want to brighten up my lid area. I'm just finding that for me, starting with a little bit lighter canvas than my actual skin tone seems to make the shadow just look a whole lot better. Now I'm going to go in with the crease brush and tap it into this really soft kind of muted pink color right here. It's almost a mauve-y pink, and that's going to go right in the crease area. That's a really soft color. I don't know if it's not a lot of payout or if it's just really very similar to the color that's already on my lid. Now I'm going to bring that color right down just to the outside area of my movable lid. Now I'm going to take a little detail brush and tap it into, it's really kind of a gray purple out here. It's a pretty color. I don't know how pigmented it is, so I'm going to start really slowly. And that's going to go in the outside corner of my eye. And I'm going to bring it along the lash line just a little bit. And I'm going to start working that just real softly up into the crease area. Now I'm going to go in with a blending brush and blend that out. One thing I can say about these little e.l.f. palettes, in my experience, is that the formula is amazing. For a little $3 palette, these shadows really are pigmented and they blend really well, and I think each of the colorways is really nicely done. I'm not moving that color around very much. I just want to soften it up and keep it right to that outside area and along my lash line and up into my crease, and not move it very much because I want the emphasis towards the outside of my eye. Now I'm going to go in with my finger and dip it into this kind of rosy mauve tone right here. You can see it right there. It's really pretty, and that's going to go towards the outside corner of my eye on the movable lid. And I'm going to kind of blend it in with that darker color that I just laid down. And I'm bringing that just about to the halfway point of my movable lid. Now I'm going to dip my finger into this lightest pink color right here. You can see it on my finger, and that's going to go into the inside corner of my movable lid. And I'm just going to blend that very softly into that last shade. A lot of shimmer in these last two shades. Little specks of glitter. I'm a bit of a glitter princess at the moment. I'm going to go back in with that little detail brush and dip it into that purple, and I'm just going to deepen up that outside edge and work it into that color that's budding up right next to it. Back in to blend that out. Now I'm going to take my flat brush and dip it back into that lightest color here in my Clay Play palette, and that's going to go right underneath my eyebrows. I just want a little more definition at the top of my eyes, right under the brow. For foundation, I'm going to be trying the number 7. This is their Protect and Perfect Advanced All-in-One Foundation. I've used this one other time. I'm going to be trying it today, and you guys can let me know what you think about it. This has a sunscreen in it, SPF 50+, which is great. It says hydrating and age-defying, so let's see if I look younger after this goes on. Has a little squeezy tube at the top. I don't know if I'm crazy about this packaging, but I prefer a pump actually. So I'm just going to put a little bit on the back of my hand and dab that over my face. Looks like it's a good color match for me. A lot of people really love this foundation, and someone told me, oh, you know what? This might be a good piece of information. I believe that a friend of mine who's really into makeup told me that it's a dupe for the Estee Lauder Futurist, which I'm going to try. I know you guys want me to try that. I got so many comments on the Futurist foundation from my Sephora haul, but I did hear from someone who's really into makeup that they felt like this was a dupe. So I don't know. When I get the Futurist, I can definitely try them side by side and let you know what my thoughts are. I would say that this is a light medium coverage. It's pretty much covering up my age spots, and it's definitely evening out my skin tone. One thing it's not doing is settling in my pores, and I like that. I hate that little polka dot effect when you put a foundation on and you get these polka dots all over your skin because it's settling in your pores. So I like to just smooth it out with a blending sponge. It has a nice finish. I would say that it's a satin finish, almost a matte satin finish. It doesn't look glowy, which I'm happy about. I'm kind of shying away from the glowy foundations lately. I just think they make me look older, or maybe I'm just in a phase about that. Maybe I'll love them again in a couple of months. You know, I'm actually really liking the way that it looks today. I wasn't as crazy about it the first time I used it, but I think I was using one of those glowy primers, and like I just said, I think I'm off the glowy thing. But I think that finish looks really pretty. It certainly looks skin-like. In my mirror, it's a beautiful finish. For concealer, I'm using the Truly Yours from JOA. This is in their brightener formula. I really am enjoying this, and actually it's pretty much the one that I reach for regularly. Because I have such dark circles underneath my eyes, I appreciate a brightener formula because I can certainly use some brightness in that area. So I just tap that out with my finger, and then I take the tip of my sponge and really get into those little nooks and crannies on the inside of my eye and gently just blend that out. Then to use the concealer hack, I'm just going to spray a little bit of setting spray on the back of my hand, tap my finger in it, and gently tap that over that concealer. I have heard from so many of you that you've used this hack and you love it as much as I do. It really works for me. So I just let that dry down just for a minute or two. This is the number 7 Lift Illuminate powder, and I use my little angle brush from e.l.f. And I just tap my brush into there really gently, get a little bit on my brush, tap it off, and then I very carefully just set that under eye area. I'm using the e.l.f. Primer Infused Bronzer in the color Sunkissed. I am in love with this bronzer. I got it a few weeks ago. You guys saw me bring it home in a haul, and I've been using it and really loving it. It's actually made its way onto my regular makeup table, and I'm using it almost daily. Just such a pretty color. Isn't that just lovely? This is the little pointed powder brush from e.l.f. I love this thing. It's so handy because I can really get sort of a detail placement and then use the more dense part of the brush, the fluffier part of the brush, to blend it out. This is the Milani blush in Dulce Pink. I thought that would just be such a pretty compliment to my shirt today, and it has just a little bit of reflective glow in it. It's such a pretty blush. So just a little bit on my brush and up to the upstairs part of my cheeks. It has just a little bit of reflectiveness. It's so nice. So I go in with my big e.l.f. complexion brush and just blend that out. For highlighter, I'm using the Essence Pure Nude Highlighter. Fallen in love with this one as well. I found so many great products recently at the drugstore. They're just hitting it out of the park lately. Of course, this is an old classic. I'm just late to the game. So it's a little bit on my brush and just at the tops of my cheeks and right in the front of my cheeks, and then a little bit on top of my eye with what's left on my brush. Back in with my big e.l.f. complexion brush and just blend that out. Now I'm going to go in with a little bit of my Coty Airspun powder and just set the T-zone of my face down just real lightly. Get a little bit on my brush, tap it off, and then just very gently hit down the middle of my face. I'm going to do a little bit of tight lining and eyeliner on my eyes today, and this is the Ulta Gel Eyeliner. I really like this, and the color is really pigmented. So I'm just going to put a little bit along my lash line at the top. Then I'm going to go in with a tiny detail brush and just smudge that out. So it's just kind of a smoky look on the edge of my lashes. Then I'm going to take that same pencil and tight line, just run it underneath my lashes and really get up in there in between all those lashes and really help to define the base of the lash line. I'm gonna hop off now, do my mascara, and I'll be right. For mascara, I use the L'Oreal Unlimited. This is my holy grail mascara, and I know I need to try some other mascaras. So why don't you guys give me some suggestions on what your favorite mascaras are? I just love this one so much. It goes on just fuss-free, and the second coat is almost better than the first, so love this mascara. For lips today, I'm going to be using the Rimmel Lip Liner in 1000 Kisses. This is the Almay. This is their Lip Vibes line, and this color is, besides being gorgeous, is called Be Fearless. I'll go ahead and put that on the back of my hand so you can see what it looks like just naturally. Isn't that just the prettiest color? That looked really good with my shirt. When I do my lip liner, I always try to cut it in before the end of my lip into these corners. I did a full video on lipstick tips for us older women, and that's the most important one. Have you ever gone to like a family reunion and, you know, Aunt Betty is over in the corner with a gorgeous lipstick on, but it's all clumped up in the corner of her mouth? Bless her heart, we love her, but that look is not what I'm going for. So I really learned to cut my lip liner in before I get to that edge or that corner of my mouth. Isn't that a pretty combination? Here we have the finished look. I'm really happy with a number of the products that I used today, a few not so much. I'm really loving the look on my skin of this number 7 foundation. It's beautiful, it looks skin-like, the finish is flawless. It's not a very heavy coverage. I would say it's a light medium coverage, but I do think you can build it up a little bit, but not a whole lot. If you need a ton of coverage, I don't think this is a good choice for you. But if you're looking for a light to medium coverage, this is really, really beautiful. It went on nicely. My skin feels hydrated. It looks flawless. Really a beautiful finish. So a big fan of this number 7, and it's in the Protect and Perfect Advanced formula. I'm really happy with all the skin products today. The e.l.f. bronzer in Sunkissed, such a fan of this. It is a beautiful color, very, very subtle, but gives that nice bronzy kind of contoury look. Blends out really well. Huge fan of this. Loving this new Dulce Pink blush from Milani. I think it's just the prettiest color when you're looking for a nice pink look, and it has that little bit of glow shift in it, so it makes a really pretty finish on the skin. Liking this a lot. And the Essence Pure Nude Highlighter, gosh, this is a cult classic for a reason. I'm really enjoying this and so happy to have it in my makeup collection now after seeing so many people praise it for so long. I really liked the Lorac eyeshadow primer. It held onto the eyeshadow really nicely, but it wasn't so heavy that it made my eyelids look more wrinkly and more crepey than they already are. So fan of the Lorac. I'm not sure what the price point is for a full size. Clearly this is a sample that I got in an order from Ulta or something, but I was really pleased with its performance today. As far as the Rosewater bite-sized palette from e.l.f., I'll have to say, not so much for me. Here's what my thoughts are on this. The color that I first used to cut in the crease was so light. I don't know if it was so much that it was the same color as my eyelid, but it really didn't help define my crease very much. The two shimmer shades, both the lighter shimmer here and the rosier shimmer here, not a lot of pigment, more shimmer than pigment, and it really had a lot of fallout down underneath my eye and onto my cheeks. So I'll have to say the only color in this particular palette that I thought performed really well was this dark plum over here. For me, this is a hard pass. I don't think I'll ever be reaching for this again. I do know there are a lot of people that really enjoy this palette. Although I think the eye look looks okay, I can't say that these shadows themselves really knocked it out of the park for me. I'm loving this lip combination. Of course, I chose the lip to go with the shirt, so that was the whole point in the bright lip. The 1000 Kisses from Rimmel. It's a great liner if you have the brighter, pinker, redder tones of lipstick. It's a wonderful base for setting those down. And the Be Fearless by Almay in their Lip Vibes line, I think is just such a pretty color. So this is a big hit for me and has been for a little while now. I want to thank you for joining me for this fresh summer makeup look for us over 50 gals with mature skin. I hope you found it useful and helpful. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, make sure you smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. And if you're interested in more makeup, skincare, and style for the over 50 woman, stop by prettyover50.com. There's a lot more great information just waiting for you there. You guys know I appreciate it so much when you take a few minutes out of your day to spend it with me. I appreciate that, and I appreciate you. Again, I'm Kimberly. This is Pretty Over 50, where we talk everything makeup, skincare, and style for the over 50 woman. Make it a great day. Wear your sunscreen and I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.